Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Botshelo Sello. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So for tonight, we're gonna do our weekly review to see how the pairs we did the analysis on Sunday, to see how well they went or how bad they went. So let's start with the first pair, and the first pair is gold. So as you remember correctly, here on the daily time frame, we had a continuation pattern to the upside, but I was expecting, let me go to the 4 hours so you can, as you remember correctly, this is what I had for gold. This is what I had. It did as I thought. It broke and it came for a retest. I sold, then I took my profits here, but what I was expecting was a third touch. I was expecting a third touch here. This is what I was expecting for gold. Let me just, so you can see clearly. So what I was expecting here is something like this. Didn't think it would break this week. Thought it was gonna break this week. This is what I was expecting. I was expecting a third touch here. Then I know that the momentum is to the upside, as this is what I was expecting, but it did break and came for a retest. Then it started to reject. So normally what I do here is I check the zones. I check the zones because the zones are also important. Then I saw that it's starting to reject, but one thing I liked about it is that it rejected with a reversal pattern. Let me just go to the 4 hour. As you can see, I was happy that it is rejecting. I know when it rejects and does a reversal pattern, I know that the momentum still is going to the downside. So what I did here, I did evolve it. Let me put it like this to see, for you to see. So what I did here, let me just remove this. Something like this. So what I did here, I saw that it's a reversal pattern. I know that we're still going to the downside, so I entered the trade on the third touch. So this is our first, this is our second, this is our third touch. Let me just go down to the 1 hour so I can show you. So just want to show you what I did here. So something like this. I knew that it would hit this 90% through. This was my reversal pattern. I was happy that it's a reversal pattern inside another reversal pattern, so I was sure that we were still going to the downside. So I did enter the trade here, and it broke, and it didn't actually retest here, but I entered my trade here. It was a risk entry. I entered my trade here. My stop loss was around 15-20 pips. It wasn't much. So it broke and it came. I didn't put my TP because I'm expecting, I didn't put my TP because I'm expecting for it to come here. So what I did is I didn't put my TP here. It came and it passed the TP, but I didn't put, no, actually it passed my 90% through. So I was happy that the trade is still going my way. So what happened here was it started to reject. When it started to reject, I saw that no, this trade is not going my way anymore, because my target was gonna be here. My target was gonna be here. So I saw that no, this trade is not going my way anymore. So I took my profits. Then I have to wait for it to see what's gonna happen, because I can't sell it here. So I had to wait for it to see what's happening. I saw that it's creating a continuation pattern to the upside, but I didn't enter the trade. I wanted to see what it was gonna do. So it did also here create a continuation pattern to the upside. If you can see it, maybe if you go to the 15 minutes time frame, you can see that it was creating another continuation pattern to the upside. So what I did here is I put my zones here. My zones were somewhere here. Wait for it to break. Then after it broke, I entered the trade. Then my stop loss was, I think, 20 pips. I entered the trade. Then it broke this bigger structure here. Then I knew that we were going to the upside. So it went. Then I took my profit somewhere here. When normally it starts to reject, that's when I take my profits. I will look for more entries, because normally what it does, when it starts to reject here on the zone here, normally it comes for a retest. So imagine I entered the trade here, waited for it to go up, then when it corrects with a big momentum, when it corrects, does something like this. Mind you, my trade could be on break even. Then something like this happens. I'll be happy because it will be a continuation pattern to the upside, but the problem is I'll be in the trade, only lock my profit, wait for a day or two, then the next thing the trade takes you out. So that's what I normally don't do. Normally I enter it here. Normally I enter the trade here when it comes for a retest, but some of the times you get early entries. So imagine you entered the trade here, it goes up, you put it on break even, then it goes up, gives you heavy profits. Then the next thing, it starts to correct. You know, most of the time when it corrects, it comes here for a retest, then go to the upside. So normally what I do, when it starts to reject here, or when it starts to correct, that's when I take my profits, wait for it again, then I enter the trade again, then I know we're going to the upside. So still going well. Gold still going well. So let's check the second pair. The second pair is GBP JPY. As you remember correctly, I had a continuation pattern to the upside because it broke, but it broke with a pattern. So normally when it breaks with a pattern, I know that it's going for a retest. Then after retest, that's when I enter my trade. So I entered the trade, it was somewhere here, it went up, but I was looking at the 4 hour, so I saw that it is rejecting. So that's when I entered my trade. So I'm still holding the trade, so I will wait for my second entry somewhere here. Let me just show you. I'll wait for my second entry here. I think what happened here is it will break, come for retest, and go to the downside. I think when I remember correctly, I entered the trade here. Then I think it took me out. Yeah, it took me out with 10 pips. I think 10 to 15 pips it took me out. So I waited for it again. Then I saw that it's rejecting now. Then that's when I went in. This is the 4 hour. Let me just go to the daily time frame. As I remember correctly, we have a bigger structure to the downside. This is what we're expecting from GBP/JPY, we have a bigger structure to the downside. As you can see, reversal pattern. This is a big reversal pattern. It broke and did another reversal pattern, and it broke. Now it's creating another reversal pattern, so we're waiting for it to break again. Then we know that we're moving to the downside. So the other pair is NAS 100. As you remember correctly, I was expecting. I'll go down to the smaller time frame. As you remember correctly, I was expecting for NAS 100 to hit our 90% rule. So it didn't do that. So it started to reject. Let me just show you what I did here. I bought here, then it came for a retest. This is the 15-minute time frame, guys. Don't forget that it broke, then came for a retest. I entered here, then it went, then I took my profits here, because you know NAS 100 has a heavy peep value. As you can see, we're still getting a chance to go to the upside. This is a continuation pattern to the upside. As you can see, still gonna get more entries on this. Still gonna get more entries. This is the 15-minute time frame, guys. Don't forget that. This is the 15-minute time frame. What we're expecting here is price broke and came for a retest, then it's gonna do something like this. I'll wait for it to buy here. I'll wait for the third touch here. Then I know that the momentum is to the upside. My target was gonna be somewhere here. So this is NAS 100. This is what I'm expecting. So it did the same thing as gold. It didn't hit the 90% rule, but we already know that the momentum for gold and NAS 100 was to the upside. So you also need to check the momentum for the bigger structure to know what's happening in the pattern. So the other pair we're gonna check is AUD CAD. Also the same thing. I was expecting it to hit our 90% rule. I was expecting it to hit the 90% rule, but it didn't do so. Let me just want you to check it. I was expecting something like this for AUD CAD. My target was gonna be somewhere here. Then I know eventually the momentum is to the upside. It's to the upside. So what it did here is I saw that it's creating another pattern. As you can see, let me just go down to the 1 hour time frame so you can also see it, guys. You should always be extremely careful after it breaks. You see it's a pattern. So I saw that it broke, came for a retest, but the way it's moving with a continuation pattern to the upside. So you have to be extremely careful, guys. You can see that it is going down. It broke here, came for a retest, but the problem is moving down with a continuation pattern. Obviously we know that it's going to the upside. So I took my profits. I think it was, where's that zone? I think it was, yeah, here. I saw that this is a strong zone, so I took my profits here because I see that it's creating a continuation pattern. I don't want to lose don't want to lose the profits I will be having. So I took my profit. So I waited for it to break. So I knew that when it breaks, it will come for a retest, and then that's when I will enter the trade. Then it didn't do so. So it just broke and shot to and went up. So couldn't enter it. So what I'll wait for now is, let me just evolve, because the way it is, let me evolve my pattern, something like that. Because as you can see, if we go down to the 1 hour, is that it broke and it came, but I didn't see it. I didn't see this. If I saw this, I was gonna enter the trade, but I will still wait for a correction. I know that if it does a continuation pattern, something like this, then I'll look for my buy entries, because you know that's when we enter buys, when it is correcting, not when it's moving. Because when it moves, you need a big stop loss because of that. So this is what I'm expecting for me to enter the trade. I'll want to see a continuation pattern. Even if it's not now, but I know this will happen. Then that's when I know that it is ready for me to enter the market. That is ready. Then I know that this will be the continuation pattern I'll be waiting for. Then I know that we're going to the upside. So you need to be patient, guys. You need to be patient with the market. There are many entries. Many entries. So just don't rush. Just be patient and check your pairs. So the last pair we're gonna check is USD CHF. I don't know why. Let me just go down to the bigger time frame, because I don't know why I don't see my analysis here. We go down to the bigger time frame. As you can see, impulse, and this is the correction phase, then another impulse. As you can see, this is the monthly time frame. I will just go down to the smaller time frame, but just wanted to show you guys that, as you can see here, we'll be waiting for months to come. So let me just go down to the daily time frame. We go down to the daily time frame. As you can see, this is what I'm seeing on USD CHF. As you can see, the price goes inside the pattern, so it's not correct. This is our second touch. As you can see, broke, price broke, came for a retest, went up, but as you can see, it created the continuation pattern to the upside, so it went up again, but it didn't complete this pattern due to the momentum is to the downside. So if the momentum is to the downside, it won't complete the pattern. Let me just go down to the 4 hour so you can see clearly. This is what happened on. Doesn't make sense. As you can see, it makes sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. As you can see, the momentum is to the downside. As you can see here, it did create, I just want to show you that it is extremely important to know where the momentum is for a pair. As you can see here, this is a continuation pattern to the upside, but what it does is, if the momentum is to the downside, normally it doesn't complete the pattern. As you can see, our target was supposed to be here. If maybe I saw it or you entered the trade, your target was supposed to be here, but because the momentum is to the downside, it doesn't complete the pattern. So thank you guys for watching my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Enjoy your day, guys.